John Deere, one of America's most iconic manufacturers, is sending shockwaves through the country with a series of decisions about moving production overseas, despite the threats from Donald Trump. Jobs are leaving, and the company's latest move is humiliating Trump's threats. In this video, we will break down John Deere's new expansion strategy and what this all means for the future of American manufacturing. Is this the end of John Deere's Made in America legacy, or the start of something far more disruptive? Stay with us and hit the like and subscribe button, and let's get into the details. John Deere is making moves overseas, and the scale of the shift is nothing short of shocking. Earlier this year, the company announced a $100 million investment in India, where it's building a brand new tractor factory and expanding its existing facility in Pune. The goal is to meet growing demand both in India and in global markets. These aren't just local sales, they're exporting to over 70 countries. But India isn't the only location drawing Deere's dollars. Despite the recent controversy, the company is also expanding in its business horizon with a $55 million plant in Mexico. That sounds positive, but it's modest compared to what's happening abroad. These expansions signal a long-term global growth strategy that's quietly pivoting away from America. India plays a key role in Deere's international blueprint, and it's clear why. Lower labor costs, rapid market expansion, and existing infrastructure. Deere's involvement in India goes back decades, with joint ventures and engineering hubs already in place. These latest moves show Deere isn't just chasing savings, it's positioning itself at the center of tomorrow's global markets. The conflict started when John Deere decided to move key manufacturing lines to Mexico before Donald Trump came into the White House. At an agricultural roundtable in Pennsylvania, Trump had delivered an unscripted warning. If Deere follows through with its Mexico plans, he'll hit them with a 200% tariff on anything imported back into the U.S. Standing in front of Deere tractors, Trump had made it personal. He wanted to declare himself a loyal customer of the brand, but emphasized that loyalty isn't blind. In his view, outsourcing manufacturing is an attack on American workers and farmers. Deere, for its part, defended its investments in the U.S. The company pointed to over $2 billion spent on domestic facilities since 2019, and a footprint that includes 30,000 employees across 60 locations in 16 states. But that message is getting lost amid layoff announcements and production shifts south of the border. Trump's threats had reignited a debate about how far he can go to stop John Deere. But the company did not stop there. They emphasized that it's their right to move anywhere to expand their business. But the real reasons behind John Deere's shift abroad go far deeper than that. First and foremost, cost efficiency. U.S. manufacturing comes with high labor costs and regulatory expenses. Many buyers simply can't afford the higher prices attached to American-made tractors, especially entry-level models. By building in Mexico or India, Deere will want to keep its products competitive. Another big factor is supply chain control. The COVID-19 pandemic exposed the vulnerability of global logistics. Ports backed up, shipping costs soared. By relocating closer to suppliers and customers, Deere is reducing risk and regaining stability. Then there's the labor force challenge. Skilled manufacturing workers are aging out, and too few young Americans are entering trade careers. So that means Deere is trying to secure reliable labor by moving overseas. And let's not forget about China. Once the low-cost manufacturing powerhouse, it's becoming less viable due to rising wages and geopolitical uncertainty. Many global companies are diversifying away from China, and Deere is following suit. Mexico and India both offer strategic advantages: geographic proximity, trade-friendly policies, and scalable labor markets. The decision is simply a calculated one, and it's a forward-looking move designed to secure Deere's global position in a rapidly changing world. John Deere's American manufacturing legacy runs deep. Since its founding in 1837, the company has been a bedrock of Midwest industry, supporting generations of workers in Illinois, Iowa, Kansas, and beyond. Its iconic green and yellow machines helped build American farms, and its factories powered local economies. These weren't just jobs, they were careers. In towns like Waterloo and East Moline, whole communities were built around Deere plants. The brand represented quality, reliability, and pride in American-made craftsmanship. Over time, Deere became more than just a company. It was a cultural symbol. During economic downturns and global crises, it stood strong, often expanding when others were shrinking. And even during its global expansion, it maintained a solid U.S. presence. With layoffs, relocations, and a rising emphasis on international operations, the company's domestic footprint is shrinking. The workforce is anxious, and longtime employees are questioning the company's direction. Deere still employs thousands in the U.S., but the commitment feels less certain than it once did. The brand built on American soil is being reshaped into a global player, one whose priorities are shifting away from where it all began. But that is not going to stop John Deere. And also, the economic consequences of Deere's relocation decisions are already rippling through affected communities. In just the past year, over 600 workers have lost their jobs in Iowa and Illinois, two states where Deere has long been an economic cornerstone. In places like Ottawa, where alternatives are few, the job cuts did not feel good. It's a drop in local spending, a blow to small businesses, and a hit to tax revenues that fund schools and services. It's not just about layoffs, though. Suppliers, logistics partners, and regional contractors that rely on Deere contracts are bracing for losses. And once a major employer cuts back, attracting new investment becomes harder. On the flip side, Deere's new operations in India and Mexico are ramping up, bringing jobs, infrastructure, and economic vitality to those regions. But for U.S. workers, those gains are meaningless if they come at the cost of their livelihoods. And unless something changes, the Midwest may lose more than just jobs. It may lose the economic backbone it's relied on for generations. Looking ahead, John Deere's trajectory seems clear. With strategic investments in India and Mexico, the company is building a leaner, more internationally balanced operation designed for cost control and market reach. Financially, the global pivot might make sense. Lower costs, better access to emerging markets, and improved supply chain resilience all serve the bottom line. But Deere also risks weakening its brand identity, especially among loyal American customers who value domestic production. Politically, the pressure will likely ramp up. Trump's tariff threats might not be empty, especially if he returns to the White House. And public sentiment could turn sharply against Deere if more layoffs come, especially during an election cycle where saving American jobs is center stage. On a broader scale, Deere's move is part of a trend. As automation, labor shortages, and global competition reshape the manufacturing landscape, companies are thinking long-term survival, not nostalgia. But here's the real question. Can John Deere remain a trusted, iconic American brand while shifting its foundation abroad? Or will the cost of globalization prove higher than what the balance sheet shows? Time and the market will decide. John Deere is investing big in India and Mexico. Trump fired back with threats of massive tariffs. Layoffs are already hitting U.S. towns hard. The economic shock is just beginning. And the company's future? No longer rooted in the Midwest. As John Deere shifts its strategy, the fallout is spreading from job sites to politics to global supply chains. Do you see more threats coming from Trump? And will those threats be enough to stop Deere from going global? Drop your answers in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more in-depth breakdowns.